Thanks, Kat.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it. All right, if anybody's watching, sorry we got a couple of minutes late. We had a few technical issues, but we are now here. So can I ask for a motion to open this work session of the Southampton Village Planning Board?
I make a motion that we open the work session of the planning board on Monday, the 26th of October.
Somebody second that motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Right.
Aye.
Okay.
Roy, my screen says that the host is disabled participant screen sharing, so I can scroll up and down to see people, and I don't care. I've seen you all before, and you're tired of looking at me.
Antoinette's going to fix that in a second. Yeah.
All right.
I think if you're looking to see everybody, you want to click on where it says gallery view. It wouldn't be screen sharing.
I'm sorry, click gallery view. Okay,
Yep.
Thank you.
Upper right
Done.
corner.
Thank you. Gallery view. Good.
Before we dig into the agenda for this evening, I'd just like to make note of Pam Gilmartin is no longer on the board. She served superbly for 12 years as a board member and made many contributions, and I would like to publicly acknowledge her great contribution, say thank you to her. At the same time, I would like to welcome our new board member, Lisa Cowell, to the Village Planning Board, village resident Lisa, and we look forward to getting your input and ideas. With that said, maybe I'll give Lisa the floor for a second to introduce herself and to say a little bit about herself.
I'm happy to be on the board. We've been living in Southampton for 6 years now, and I'm looking forward to being a big part of how things are developed here.
Okay, thanks very much. All right, Kathy, you're going to put your agenda up for all of us to see?
I will share my screen. Lisa, I just want to reach out, let you know that if you want to reach out to me to kind of go through the pending applications, I can give you the background so you can, get up to speed a little quicker.
Fantastic.
I don't know how much you're following, but please feel free to reach out.
Thank you.
All right, so if this works, you guys disappeared from my screen now. That's you. Oh yeah, I'm doing the wrong one. Oh gosh, stop. Try that again.
I think that was the right one.
Yeah.
For some reason, I was seeing you guys on my screen, and I don't know how to
You're
change
seeing the
that.
right thing.
Okay, great. Okay, so just of note on the agenda, it was incorrectly written at the top of the agenda that this is the public meeting. This is the work session, October 26th. So I just made a note of that here for reference. But the first item.
Okay, great. So we've had this extension request. Actually, we've had this application decided upon a while back. So they're requesting an extension to December 5th. The reason?
I didn't actually see the request, but just so everybody knows, this is that application where they're going from 3 lots to 2 lots. And this middle portion is being split between the 2 owners. So nothing has changed that would make a difference as far as the village code. And so there's no issue with, allowing an extension.
Okay. Any questions? Anybody on that? Looks
No.
okay. Great.
First application to go the other way in 40 years, and it's nice to have.
Right. All right, then in subdivisions, we've got the Robinson application, which was approved several years ago and is now back for public hearing scheduled for November 2nd. Is there any points of interest about that, Kathy?
This is one that was actually, there was a secret negative declaration adopted in 2010. So it actually goes back 10 years on that. So Alice had asked that I update that. I'm in the process of doing that and making sure that, that is documented properly. And I will send that to Alice during the week. So that way that can be adopted prior to the close of the public hearing on Monday. assuming that that is closed on Monday.
Is that a negative declaration that we've already done years
Yep.
ago and we're doing again just because of SEQA regulations may have changed in the meantime?
No, it's just been such a long time that
Mhm.
Yeah.
in my experience, it's been good practice to, take a look at it again and re-adopt
Right.
it. We're not anticipating any changes, but that's been my experience.
Okay. And we have gone through the new application and just made sure that nothing's changed from the old application.
Correct. The only thing that changed was the setbacks for building envelopes, which have changed in the code since 2010. So that doesn't affect the subdivision.
Right.
It just affects the future development.
Just, okay.
Okay.
All right.
I do have Mr. Flanagan with his hand up. I don't know if you want me to let him in or just see if he has any questions.
Sure, let's see what he's got to say. Gil, you there?
I'm here. Can you see me? Can you hear me?
We can.
Yeah.
Now we can.
Okay. No, I just basically was here in case you had any questions. I assume we'll take it further at the public hearing next Monday.
Oh, you're all set for that?
Yeah, as far as I'm concerned, really nothing has changed. Again, what took so long was the health department, and that was a Byzantine task, I'll say that. And that's the only reason it took so long. But we finally found a piece of property and we in the groundwater contributing area, and we sterilized it. So that's what the health department was looking for.
Got it. Okay, anybody have questions for Gil?
If there's anything particular that you want to show on the screen, Gil, let me know, because you'll be making a presentation, I'm assuming.
Right. The only thing I can think of showing is the subdivision map that I submitted.
Got it. I'll have that available.
Thanks.
What,
Kathy.
what do you mean by you sterilized a piece of property?
In order to, it's basically like a transfer of development rights. My clients
Okay.
acquired the property that was a buildable lot, and it is now restricted from development.
Great.
And that was a requirement of the health department so that the density is not increased.
Okay.
And they were satisfied with that we were in the same groundwater contributing area and it met their requirements. So my clients actually acquired other property and then sterilized it.
Where's the other property, Gil?
It was up in the Hillcrest neighborhood. And if you look
Okay.
at the groundwater map, you can see exactly where it shows. And in fact, it's interesting because we sterilized it in conjunction with the church that's located there. So the church will have more space around it, but they won't be able to build anything on it. But if they want to have activities outdoors or parking or something like that. So it was a win-win for the community because the church benefited by it.
Got it.
Okay, thanks, Gil.
Thank you.
All right, 99 Sanford Place. Pending additional info. Remind me what info that is.
So we received, this hasn't been received by the planning board yet, but this was received by the applicant, was a determination from the building inspector that I haven't reviewed yet because I just got it today, that it's his interpretation that they don't have to go to the zoning board of appeals for the relief for the lot width. And so that means that this board, this board can proceed as long as everything else is in order. There were a number of outstanding comments in our last planning review that the applicant has that they need to address. I don't have that handy, but there were a number of other items besides the zoning board. So I guess at this point, we're just waiting to hear from the applicant on those items.
Right. I recall one of them was the neighbors being brought into the deliberation.
Yeah.
In emergency vehicle access and stuff like that.
Right. So are we waiting for the applicant to get back to us at the regular scheduled meeting? Is that anticipated?
Yeah, I think that makes sense.
Okay. So 54 North Main Street. We have our public hearing coming up in next week.
I haven't heard anything as whether they, I imagine that they noticed properly this time, so we're on for next week. This is the application on North Main Street that the recommendation was for them to go forward with a flag lot subdivision rather than one that had the access, has by easement. So,
And the applicant's aware of it because he weighed in at the last meeting.
yes. Yeah. So,
Okay. Baptist Church, this is a new one.
it's a new application. Let me just show you. Okay, so this is on the corner of Powell Avenue and Plant Street, which is also Reverend Raymond Lee Court. And I think I have a picture. Well, maybe I don't have a picture, but so the church is on this lot in the back here. And this has historically been 2 lots, but somehow they were merged. And I guess there's some history that goes into that. The idea is that this property to the south will be sold to the town housing authority for affordable housing once it's split off, with an agreement for an easement so that parking for the church can be provided on that lot. And I have a report that's almost done. I have some comments on it that my staff put this together, so I'll get this out to you this week. And then we can circulate that to the applicant.
Are both lots owned by the church?
Now they are, yes.
Hmm.
So there's really not a lot on that until we get a report out and then we hear from the applicant.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
So then we move into the site plan review for 7 Powell Avenue.
Yes.
Did
That's what we
everybody
did.
look at
Oh.
the memorandums, both from Jackie and from Alice, received during the week about this?
I don't have that memo to show.
Mhm.
Alice, maybe you could just give an overview of what the memo was, or you want to?
I just said in the memo that I didn't advise that the board proceed with the application with the access shown over the MTA property, that the board really didn't have the ability to say that the applicant does or does not have a right. And I don't think the board should opine on whether or not they have a prescriptive right. You know, this access is a necessary element of a site plan, and they need to demonstrate that they have legal and proper access. And the previous submission did not do that.
Having trouble hearing you, Alice. Can you stay close to your mic?
Oh, I'm like really close. I don't know how much closer I could get.
No, that's
Swallow it.
So subsequent to your memorandum, the applicant was made aware of that and has submitted a revised site plan application. Kathy, have you had a chance to take a quick look at that?
Well, I looked at this in a cursory way. This is not a complete site plan. There are a lot of requirements for a site plan, including things like distances and measurements and showing what's existing and what's proposed. So I will send a copy of that section of the code over to the applicant just in the meantime. But I mean, I hate to put together a report that says you're missing X, Y, Z when it's, you know, there's a lot of items. However, there are also items in the site plan requirements that could be waived, you know, that don't make sense here. This is a property that's been developed and it's just, you know, it's you know, some improvements. So I can provide that kind of feedback as well. What things the planning board really shouldn't require in a site plan.
Where is the new access located that doesn't
It would
require
be-
them going across the MTA property?
I believe that this portion, which is west of the building, is actually within the village's right of way, but I can't tell from this plan. So that is one of the questions. But this area here where the scale is that the applicant was hoping to preserve will now be the access for the handicap for wheelchair access. Again, it's not very clear because this is just a plan view, an architectural plan view. And so we'll be needing some additional details to review this.
So what that's showing is sort of the back and forth ramp of a handicap access.
Yes.
Okay.
So I'll put together some comments before, next week that we can circulate to the applicant.
Okay. Questions or comments, anyone?
No, I think it's a good idea for us not to make a property judgment. I'll vote for that.
I
But,
agree.
It's good luck with the railroad.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll see when the plan gets fleshed out and meets the site plan application documentation requirements, what it looks like. Okay, thank you. 550, 554 Hill Street was back on the agenda. There was a request from the applicant's attorney, Mr. Flanagan, to postpone consideration of this, which is why this has now been moved to the referral section of the agenda, which, as I understand from Jackie and Kathy, we're not going to discuss it. It just sort of put on hold. So anybody interested in commenting on this application doesn't need to worry about it being brought up at the next meeting that they may have to attend. Is that correct, Kathy?
Yeah. And I don't know. I mean, it might even make sense to just formally adjourn it until, so that way, I mean, it says hold pending additional information. I almost feel that it should be adjourned formally.
Mhm.
So that way it's very clear that, we don't want people showing up next week and being concerned about this.
Well, this is definitely an application that a lot of people weighed in on, and were concerned that they didn't feel they were being properly notified about the next meeting. So it's something I think we have to be sensitive to.
So a formal, do we make a vote in the planning meeting at mutual request to adjourn it further? And have our minutes show that it was formally adjourned?
Alice, your opinion?
Hey, Alice has a conflict.
Alice is
Oh,
Alice is totally conflicted.
yes.
But it seems to me if the proper thing is to, half of what we do, the village is always sort of overlooked by everybody sort of agreeing to delay things. We don't live with the timing. This would have been done 4 years ago if the timing held. But it seems to me, Roy, let's have a motion, which I will make, that we, at the request of the applicant, agree to adjourn this until further notice and not involve our board or the public any further until the applicant changes its application. That would be my motion.
Okay. I'll second that motion. Antoinette, would you call the roll of votes?
Yes. Mr. McFarland, how do you vote?
Aye, I vote for the motion.
Ms. Cowell, how do you vote?
Aye, I vote for the motion.
Ms. Claire, how do you vote?
Aye.
Ms. Chair, how do you vote?
Aye.
And Mr. Piazza, how do you vote?
Aye.
All right, thank you, Alan, for that motion. Now, that makes the agenda a little bit clearer as far as people looking to know what we're going to be talking about at the next meeting when they look on the website to see what's going on.
Yep.
All right, well, we plowed through that. Minute approvals. I think I saw, Alan, you sign off on.
Yeah, I think I saw them both. They're just fine. Antoinette did a first-rate job. There was almost nothing in them. By the way, Antoinette, for the minutes for tonight, would you craft a little summary of the chairman's comments about the long service and end of service of Pam Gilmartin, please? We should have that in the minutes.
Yep, I already have it and I will take care of that. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, well, let's get those minutes approved then, if we could.
I'll move that we approve. I think we were all there, the minutes of the meeting of September 28th and the minutes of the meeting of October 5th.
Well, everyone except Lisa.
Except Lisa, excuse me, the four of us. Yes. Sorry, Lisa.
Sorry.
You can read them too. We'll get them to you if you want.
I will.
Okay, so Alan's made a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, minutes are approved. Does anyone have anything to add? Further business for this work session? All right, the next meeting will be the regularly scheduled meeting of the planning board, November 2nd, 2020. It will be Zoomed starting at 5:30 PM, followed by the November 30th, 2020, 5 PM work session, and then the December 7th regular scheduled meeting at 5:30 PM. All those will be on Zoom until things
Till further
change.
notice.
Until further notice, right?
Thank you,
That
Council.
said, thank you very much. Lisa, congratulations on making it through your first meeting.
Thank you very much.
Welcome, Lisa.
Thank you.
Welcome,
And,
Lisa.
if I could have a motion to close the work session.
So moved.
Somebody want to second that?
I'll
Second.
second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye, everybody.
Hi, everybody. Thanks. Have a good night.
Yep.